I have another beautiful tutorial for you today, Sumate, and trust me, this tutorial is one of those tutorials that you don't want to miss out. So in today's tutorial, I am going to be sharing with you how to make your own homemade bra cup. You see those type of bra cup you usually buy from the market? This is exactly what you're going to be learning how to make today. Because sometimes when we go to the market, it kind of don't know the right backup to get, especially when we're making it with for a first time client. Sometimes you might not even get exactly the size you're looking for. With this, you don't need to go out looking for backup to buy. In fact, you don't need to waste money on that. And again, sometimes when we're making corsets for a plus size, sometimes it's also difficult to get the backup of the individual size. All of these are what this tutorial is going to end, because you are going to be using the measurements of the individual you're working for or you are making the outfit for to construct a backup that looks exactly like the one you buy from the market. You see, so that's why I say this tutorial is one of those you don't want to miss out on. So I want you to pay attention to this tutorial, and if possible watch to the end, like I always recommend and advise, because it is very important so that you don't at the end become confused. So what I'm going to do is to first of all mark my line. So what you're going to be needing to draft this is you're going to be needing your um under bust measurement. You're going to be needing your bust point measurement. You are also going to be needing the perfect neckline for bra cups. Okay, so I will still explain more on the lines. So I will go ahead and rule the lines. So I'm going to rule 3 lines here. Okay, and I'm going to be labeling it. Okay, so I have ruled the first line, which I am going to label as the underbust. That is the one down below. And the one in the middle is our bust point line. Then the one I am ruling now is 3 inches above the bust point line. That is 3 inches above the nipple length. Do you understand? So if you want the bra cup to a kind of a reveal, if you don't want it to cover the breast very well, then you can go 2.5 inches above the um bust point. But trust me, it's not going to cover your breast very well. But if you want the one that covers at least reasonably, go up 3 inches below the nipple point, or even 3.5. So what I'm working here is 3.5. Okay, so you see that I went on to label them. So these are the 3 lines you need. So I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 is 4, because my nipple to nipple is 8. That is bust span. So that is what I am marking into a straight line like this. And I am going to get my ruler to rule it into a straight line. Now, after ruling into a straight line, now I am going to form a circle around there. Okay, I'm going to form a circle. So this circle, you form it by measuring from your bust point line to your under bust point line. So mine, what I have is around 3.25. That is 3.25 inches. So if yours is 3 inches, you are going to mark that 3 inches round the line as if you are trying to form a circle. And you are going to achieve this by placing your tape exactly on that nipple point line on the bust point. So you see where I place my tape? That is what I'm talking about. You're going to place your tape, and while you maintain the starting point of the tape there, you're going to be moving the tape around and be marking the line. Now, if you notice, the lines are not really visible. And the reason why I did not use my marker is because I don't want the line to be that visible, because this line I am marking now, that is a round circumference, that is a round circle I'm marking now, is not what we are focusing on. Okay, if we're just marking it for a guideline, so we're not really focusing on it, is not where our point or emphasis lies. So even if you're not seeing it, is not clear, don't worry, we are not really making use of it, we're not going to make use of it. So you're going to be focusing on the line that I'm going to make with my marker. That is the point, the line we are going to be focusing on. So I will just go ahead and draw it, and we are going to continue working on it. So even though it's not really showing, but I believe you understand what to do when you're drafting yours. Just go ahead, place your tape on exactly the nipple point on the bust point line, then make a circle. You're just going to be measuring and be rotating your tape around. So that is what you see me doing here. So like I said, the line is not visible, but don't worry at all. Okay, So now what I'm going to do now is to start drafting the right lines that we're going to be working with. So I am trying all I could to make it visible, but it's not showing up. But don't worry, we don't really have much to do with it. Okay, so I'm going to grab my marker now, and I'm going to be marking the real lines that we're working with. Okay, so please pay very attention to this. Okay, so that you will have no issue again with going to source for backup. So from here now on the underbust, I am going to be measuring 1.25. Now note that if your bust is on the bigger side, like from let's say 43 or 44 upwards, you can use 1.5. Do you understand? But if it's more than that, like all those 50, bust 50 of something, you can use 2 inches to contour this your under bust. Okay, so the next thing I do is from this point I'm going to mark 1 inch, 1 inch below. Do you see it? From this point to here, 1 inch, and it's from that 1 inch that I'm going to connect to the 1.25 that I already mark on the under bust, like this. Okay, so you see the way I connected this. Remember I said I use 1.25. So I am also going to connect the one on this side like this, making sure that it ends on that 1 inch that I marked below the bust point line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go up and down of this line by half an inch. Okay, so remember this line is the center front. Okay, the center front, that is this line where I'm marking my dot now. So you see that I went half of an inch up and down of the line. Now I'm placing my tape here again. I'm going to mark 1 inch. Take note of that, 1 inch, and I'm going to be connecting to the half inch that I measured up and down the center front. So I'll connect it like this, and I'll also connect the down part as well. So I was done connecting, and the next thing I'm going to do now is to go on and measure another half an inch here. Okay, so I am going to go up and down of this line again by half of an inch, half of an inch on the upper part, half of an inch on the other, on the downside. Now here now I am going to measure what I have here. So if you're going to measure what you have here, um if it's not up to your bust circumference divided by 4, you're going to add 1 inch to it. Okay, so the line is not up to my bust point, my bust circumference I mean, divided by 4. So that is why I marked 1 inch. Okay, so my bust circumference divided by 4 is 9.5, and I have only about 8 0 7.75. Okay, 7.75. That's why I added 1 inch to it, so I have about 8.75, which is still not up to my bust circumference divided by 4, and it's perfect. It doesn't have to be up to that, because normally we're supposed to come in by 0.5 inches from our bust circumference divided by 4. I don't know if you get that. So I also measure another 1 inch from the nipple point line, and I'm connected to the lines. Okay, so another way to achieve the line, the line that I'm marking on now, that is the straight line around here, is to come in after marking your bust circumference divided by 4, then you come in by 1.5. Okay, because our corsets, the bracket always starts 1.5 inches from the side joining, the side seam. Now from here I am going to go up 2 inches. Now the reason why I'm going up 2 inches is because I don't want my cleavage to reveal much. Take note of that. I don't want it to reveal much, but definitely it's going to reveal because this is corset, but I don't want it to reveal much. So if you want it to reveal much, you can mark 1.5 or even 1.25. Okay, so after I marked that, I also went in half of an inch from that center point here, half of an inch. Okay, half of an inch, and that is this line here, and I'm going to connect it to the this line down like this. Okay, so you see the way I connected it. That is what you're going to do as well. Okay, now it's time for me to take this line to this point. So I'll grab my ruler as well and connect this one to the down part. Okay, so I'm trying to connect it in a way that I will have fullness, sorry, around there. That is why you see that I'm a kind of trying different curves on my ruler. Okay, so I went on to place this side as well, and I connected. So you see how it's looking like already. It's just already giving us the shape of the bra cup that we are looking for. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is to work on this upper part now. Now the what we're going to do is to come in half of an inch here. Okay, sorry, quarter of an inch, and go up half of an inch or quarter. Okay, so I actually use quarter on both. I went up quarter and also come in quarter from this line. So quarter quarter, that is what I use. And note that you can also use half inch around here. So what I'm going to do is to connect it to the center front. Okay, I'm going to be connecting it to the 2 inches above the bust point line that I mark. Okay, so I'll go on and connect it like this. And you can also use this method for your 3-part corset. This method is also perfect for 3-part corset because you see that that is the what is already giving us. Okay, so if you are also finding difficult to draft a 3-part corset, just know that that is exactly what you are learning to do right now. Okay, so this is it, and the cup is ready. Now this what we just drafted now is the exact regular cup you buy from the market. Okay, but you know we have two types of cup, right? Push up and the normal one. So this one is a normal regular cup, but if you want to make it like push up, this is what you are going to do. You see this line here, you're going to come in this line half of an inch of this line on both side, or quarter of an inch. Okay, so if you want it to the push up to be well carved and well contoured, you're going to use half of an inch, and you also go up from the nipple point 1 inch, and you're going to connect like this. So by so doing, you are achieving an overbust contour to it. So this will give you that push-up bra cup, the deeper one. Okay, so that is what you do to achieve that. So I use my pen to do that because that is not what I am working on. I'm working on the regular cup that I will buy from market. But if you want it to give you that push-up effect, that is what you are going to do. You are going to contour the overbust. Okay, so you can see right now it is ready, and I'm going to cut out. Okay, so after cutting it out, I am going to show you what we have. So before I proceed, I'm going to number it. So don't worry, I'm going to use my marker to number it because this pen is not really very visible. So here is 1, 2, and 3. So this numbering is very important. You can also use your arrow to indicate here which part is the exactly the nipple point. It's very important so that you don't get confused when you are transferring it to your main fabric. Now I'm going to cut out, and after cutting out, I'm going to cut it out and join it for you to see. Okay, so if you have watched up to this point, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment for me. Okay, so if you benefited from this video, you can just drop a comment for me about that, and you can also ask your question on the comment section, and definitely I am going to answer your question on the comment section. So if you're coming across my channel for the first time, I am Mercy, and this is Mercy Posh Stitches. So I'll proceed to cut out, and like I said, after cutting out, to give you that exact look of the regular bra cup you buy from the market, you're going to get a bra foam. Okay, you go to the market, you ask of bra foam, then that is what you're going to use to cut it from. But alternatively, if you don't have bra foam, you're going to use warden, and you're going to also gum warden to it, and your peplum stay. I hope you know what is peplum stay, so that it give it that effect. Okay, give it that black up effect. So I will transfer it now to another fabric, a white fabric, and I will show you what it is like. Okay, so I will do that right now. So I cut each one on the fabric I'm talking about, and if you notice, I didn't add any allowance to it yet. Okay, so if you are remember, this the cup itself. Okay, so I don't think there's any need of adding allowance, but if you feel like you should be on the safer side, you can just add quarter. Please don't add up to half an inch. Please add quarter of an inch and use it to join it. Okay, so but mine, I didn't add anything, and I don't think it's going to affect it because you're just going to join it with less than a quarter of an inch. Okay, and you're going to run the stitch double when you are joining directly on um your your main warden or bra foam. Okay, so if you feel that it's going to give you a kind of shortage, please add quarter of an inch, and it should not pass quarter of an inch. Okay, so I went on to join the first part, which is the number 3 and 4, and what I'm going to do now is to unpin this and join the number 1 and 2, which is the upper parts. Okay, so you notice the way I'm joining it, I'm just placing one on top of one, using allowance of, like, the allowance I used to join it is not even up to quarter, but if you can maintain just quarter, it's okay, or less than quarter. Okay, that's how you're going to join it. You place one on top of one, then you go on and join. So you're going to run up to 2 stitches. Okay, when you are working directly on your bra foam, run more than 1 stitch on it. Okay, that will make it to stay very firm and strong. So you can see what I have now. So I am going to a kind of place it on my bust, and you're going to see what it look like. Okay, so I know you already saw how it look like during the start of this video. So here now is the center front. Okay, here is the center front, and I will go on and still place it again for you to see what it look like. So remember, here is the center front. So this is what it look like, and that is what I'm going to show you right now. So you are going to place this center front exactly where you want your the front to stay, and this is what it look like. So you see that, mere looking at itself, you will think that it's the regular bra cup we buy from the market, but of course it's not. So with this, you won't struggle with looking for a particular bra cup that will size an individual. You're just going to use your measurements to cut it, and look, it is very perfect. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to share this video to someone who might need it, or drop a comment for me. See you some other time. Bye.